Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Easy Web Video Podcast. My name is David Sitt. I'm the owner of Easy Web Video. And I have with us today a very special guest, Michael Krisa of QuickPage RE. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what he does as we move along. First off, I'd just like to say hello, Michael. How you doing today?
Hey, Dave, thanks for having me on the call. It's a pleasure to be here, my friend.
Tell me something. Where are you guys located at?
So, my part of the equation, I'm 2 hours north of Toronto, Ontario. Our head office is out of Seattle, USA.
Gotcha. So Toronto, we're talking cold, colder than Toronto or same?
Here, let me do this. I'll turn my camera around. You can look out the window and you can watch the snow as it's melting because they're calling for rain. It's going from snow to rain. We're getting all the food groups.
We're over in New York, so we get a little bit of it, but it's nothing like what you guys get. I don't know, I guess, it takes some getting used to, but I guess you grew up that way.
You become a skier, a trapper, or you stay home and bitch a lot. It's one of those three. Or play hockey. I forgot there's the fourth category.
What do you do if you're if you're the third one? What kind of life is that?
What, a trapper? I just made that up. I
No,
didn't think you were actually going to call me on that one, but
no, the one that sits at home and complains all the time.
oh, yeah, that's when you marry old. I think is that how it is?
I think I think that's what they say. All right, so why don't you tell me a little bit about QuickPage RE? I know that your background is you're a real estate agent. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about your background and then, tell us a little bit about your company so that we have a good understanding of what it is that you guys do.
Sure. Well, so the background, I've been in real estate since 1989, and then I got enamored by doing video. And in that time period, over the past 10 years or so, I've been teaching realtors how to do video. So using their mobile devices to leverage video because it's such a powerful medium.
Now,
And
when
yeah,
you
you,
say teach realtors how to do video, um, give me an example. Like what is the typical realtor that you're teaching?
well, before we even get to the teaching part of it, it's getting them over the issues of self-esteem because there are so many of the, and I say they all start with two. I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, I'm too wide, I'm too hair, everything with a two. And it deals with self-esteem issues. And I have to get them over that because there's this, perception, number one, that you have to look a certain way, you have to sound a certain way, you have to be almost Hollywood perfect to be on video. And the thing is, no, that's absolutely not correct. And when it comes to real estate or any sales discipline, people are looking for authenticity. I hate using that word because it's so overused. But realistically, people are looking for someone who can listen to them, that will empathize with their pain and literally deliver them from where they are now to the promised land. So in real estate, I'm looking to buy a house. I know how complicated and complex it's going to be. Help me make the right choices, get me there. So how do I find that realtor? Well, it comes from watching videos that they do. And then you get a feeling of, there's something about this person I like. It's like you and I are doing video right now. Certain people are going to look at you and say, there's something about this David guy I like, and they don't even know you. And that's the power of video. It's called parasocial behavior. Our brains fill in all the missing bits of that declaration that we make that there's something about the guy I like. And then your brain cherry picks all the data to support that hypothesis. That's the really thrilling thing about video.
Right. So I guess the target realtor understands the need to be utilizing video in order to be different than the rest of the realtors or to establish relationships that they didn't necessarily have initially. And then they're looking for someone to kind of help them figure out how to do it, like what's the right way to go about it? Is it the technologies? Is it mostly the stage fright like you're talking about that you have to get them through? I mean, which is the focus more so, or is it both?
I think it's a common. So the first part is they know they need to be doing this. It's like, I know I should be eating more broccoli and more spinach. The knowing part and the doing part, that's where you have the disconnect. They know they need to be doing video because every time they go to a trade show, what do they see? They see vendors pitching the latest bits, here, let's get a gimbal for your cell phone. Let's buy all this stuff. And then they run out and they buy it. And what I like to tease them about from stage, I say the biggest barrier between you and success is the cellophane around the last product you bought. Because they'll buy the thing and they don't use the thing, right? So getting back to video, the first thing they need to do is just pick up their phone, hit the record button, and just start doing it, because their first video, second video is going to suck, third video is going to suck. But it's like going to the gym. The first time you go there, you're intimidated by, the big, hairy, sweaty, just the women, right? But once you actually get into the routine and you've gone, 3 times, 4 times, you get into a routine and you start feeling more comfortable. And video, and this, David, video is exactly the same thing. The more you start doing it, the more comfortable you feel, and then it becomes second nature.
For sure. There's no question about it. And I again, having dabbled a little bit in the real estate world with agents and such, I could imagine how important video could be. I mean, really across any platform, but specifically with that, I mean, you have a choice. You could pick any agent out there, or maybe you're not sure yet who you're going to pick. And now someone comes along and sitting, so to speak, right in front of you where you can see them. I think it makes a big difference. I definitely understand it. And I guess that the realtors really gain a lot of working knowledge and how to do things so that they'll stand out from the rest of the crowd.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the specifics on the technology side? What do you guys do? I think you had mentioned to me it's video emails that you focus on, just in terms of what you're teaching your clients in terms of how to interact with potential customers or current customers.
Sure. So that's a good question. It's a big question, actually. So part of the teaching part is understanding that your customer, or forget about customer, these are people you haven't even met yet. That's where video is really powerful, because we know that, there are 3 things. I tease realtors from stage. I say, when you leave your home in the morning, there are 3 things that you're going to take to the office. And we all do this. We take the same 3 things. We're going to take our keys, we take our wallet, and we take this. We take our phones everywhere we go. And you're more likely to leave your kids behind than your phone, because the phone has now become the hub, the communication hub of everything we do. And we use it for email. We use it for messaging, checking messages. We use it for social media and for apps. And then ultimately, we use the phone for making and returning phone calls. And what realtors have to start understanding is their customers, the people they haven't met yet, are doing exactly the same thing. They're using the phone for all those same features, but there's one more that they're using it for. They're searching for properties. They're looking for a home. They're looking to buy or sell. And they're sending out inquiries to realtors because they want to find out information about a certain house that they saw online. Now, here's a stat. It comes from the National Association of Realtors, and it's about 75% of all email inquiries go unanswered.
All
So
right. Well,
that,
I know that firsthand. I was just looking for a company to do some advertising for us online, and a friend of mine had sent me to their website, thinking, hey, here's a great opportunity, great company to interact with, and buy some services, spend some money, give them some money, sent them an email. A week goes by. I tingled my friend. I said, "Hey, what is with these guys?" And I like I said, I try myself to respond, but I feel like when it's a company, when it comes to email, that's a no-no. I mean, I understand people, on an individual level not responding, but a company, I think, they're certainly leaving a lot on the table by doing that. So that's another way, I guess, to distinguish yourself, is to actually respond
oh yeah.
to that.
Well, the other stat from National Association of Realtors is that the agent that does actually reply, that customer is more likely to go with that agent, the first one that gets back to them. And I'm thinking, Like, how crazy is that? That might not even be the best agent. It just happened to be the guy that replied, right? So the other thing I teach, okay, so what happens if I have to think there's more than one savvy realtor in a room? Let's say 4 or 5 people reply. Well, who are you going to pick? The guy with the scented email? Like, how do you differentiate? Is it the better font, the better text? Because they all look the same. And where the game changer comes in, especially in open rates, a simple little marketing technique is in the subject line, put in the word video. And HubSpot will tell you that there's a 10 to 15% more likelihood that that email will be opened because video is in the subject line.
It's
So, hey,
people
David.
want to see things. They want to be able to feel it, touch it. I mean, you're on a computer for heaven's sake, and you don't have any, personal interaction. This is like, kind of making it into real life. I mean, this is unbelievable. And I know for myself, just listening to you and the way that you're describing it, it makes complete 100% sense. So here it is. You got somebody not responding. You got somebody, who are you going to go with? You're going to go with the easiest solution. I mean, you want to pick up the phone and get it done. And now you're going and you're offering the people. And what's unbelievable about it is you're doing it in this industry, but this could be done in any industry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, I brought it from, I found this company and they're well entrenched in the automotive space. And I guess if you look at degrees of hatred, you've got real estate, automotive, undertakers. That's how the public perceives, or that's where the trust level is, right down there. And in the
Nobody
automotive
trusts the
industry,
undertakers anymore.
I think undertakers have moved up probably 2 degrees. I don't know. They're hiding their evidence, David. I'm not sure. But what they've discovered in automotive is it's the same thing. Someone will inquire about the new 2020 Jeep Commander or whatever. The savvy car salesperson is now responding with a video and saying, hey, David, I see you inquired about the 2020 Jeep. I took the liberty of walking around. I've taken some video for you. I've also attached some pictures. Oh, I've put in the rate sheet because we've got a special going on right now in terms of financing. And all these things that salesperson is talking about is now built into the video player that we use within QuickPage. So when they send that now to that prospect, well, number one, they're seeing a face. So now there's actually a connection there. There's a face to who they're dealing with. And number two, they get to see a walk around of the vehicle. They get to see the pictures, and they're doing this all on their phone. They're scrolling through. And what they're finding in the automotive industry is, number one, there's a higher conversion because the customers are now identifying with that salesperson, and there's a bond starting to form. And it's not just a dealership from around the corner. I've got documented proof that people are driving 100, 200, 300 miles just to deal with that salesperson because they feel like they know, like, and trust them. And that comes from the video.
It's unbelievable. So, in terms of systems that you use, what systems do you use in terms of, having your video hosting or things like that? What have you used, and what kind of tricks of the trade do you have to tell us?
Well, so we're talking about two distinctive things. We're talking video hosting, video email delivery. I guess the first question, or a common question, and correct me if I'm wrong here, David, but people say, well, why can't I just host my videos on video? Or why can't I just put my videos on YouTube? YouTube's free. Why should I pay you?
It's free.
Well,
I don't
you know
have to
what,
do anything.
David,
Why would I
I
pay?
tell people free comes with a cost.
Right? Why would I pay any money? Why wouldn't, I mean, you could do everything for free.
Because you're going to pay dearly for free. And let me explain that, especially now on YouTube, because it used to be YouTube was just considered a platform. Well, so let's go back in terms of what's happening right now. And I don't want to get into the politics. What I'm saying is you've got a platform and you've got a publisher. Those are two separate things. So as a platform, that was what YouTube used to be once upon a time. That was what Facebook used to be. You would put your content on that site and your content would appear, and there was no messing around with the content. What you posted, and of course, each one of these platforms had their, terms of service that you couldn't put porn, you couldn't put hate, anything like that on. Well, a publisher is somebody like, a New York Times, Washington Post. What they do is they curate the content. They decide what content is going to make it to the top of the search engines within their platform. They decide which videos will never appear. So what's happening now with YouTube is depending on your political bias. Now, you may be posting car videos, you may be posting cooking videos, whatever that is. But if you ever make some political slip that you're endorsing a certain candidate or certain whatever, YouTube is shutting people down. So this whole thing now is they're no longer a platform. They have now crossed that line that they are a curator of content. They become a publisher. And with a publisher comes liabilities, but they want it both ways. And that's what the social media platform. So my warning to people now, if you're using YouTube as free, you're going to end up paying for it, because not only can they potentially shut you down because of your political beliefs or what you're thinking, but you're also competing with all those videos that appear on the right-hand side. So although somebody may be watching your cooking video, YouTube is going to go, okay, what are related videos? And they'll put all these other things. So they may watch the first 10 seconds of yours. But, oh, look, Budweiser girls. Oh, Costa Rica, I was thinking about going on vacation. Oh, look here, BMW. My wife was talking about buying a car. And suddenly, YouTube is pulling them away from your video to watch theirs, because that's where they're making their money.
You know, it goes forward because, you know, and this is, you know, the case that I have now. It happens to be that I let my kids use my machines from time to time. Maybe that might not be the best idea, but in doing so, they're watching, you know, not something necessarily that I might be interested in. I don't have anything against Peppa Pig, Michael. I don't want you to think that. But, you know, when I'm getting suggestions for videos in the future, every time I go onto YouTube, I mean, they think that I'm interested in Peppa Pig, Cyber Chase, and all these, you know, all these kids videos that they have going on. And you could imagine that this would be, you know, across anything. So, you know, it is helpful in a way if you were living in a world where you cared about that. But as a business, I think it's pretty risky to be putting yourself out there like that, where, you know, you're going to have that aspect going on. So I think everybody kind of understands that piece of it. And I guess that's, you know, a reason to use something like Easy Web Video.
When I look at YouTube, and I'm not banging the platform, what I'm upset about is the politics and the control. Because let's look at this from a business perspective, David. Let's say real estate, good example. I've got real estate videos that I'm posting, my virtual tours, and maybe I'm up to the point now where I've got a few hundred videos posted. Not only is it about real estate, but it's, you know, client testimonials, maybe it's tips on how to stage your home, whatever it is, but I've got a full library of content on YouTube. Well, if I do something that violates their terms of service, and it could be something I didn't even realize that I did. I know people that have posted videos, and YouTube has said, oh, you know what? You've copyrighted. It's plagiarism. You violated a copyright. It's their own content, David. It's their own content. YouTube shuts them down, but it's not the video that gets shut down. It's the entire channel that gets shut down. And if you're busy doing what you do, whatever your business is, you may not even know your YouTube channel is shut down for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and you're losing all that traffic. And not only that, but there's this big thing that comes up on the channel saying you violated terms of service. So now you look like some kind of criminal like Jesse James, right? As I say, there's a price to free. It's like having, let's look at it this way. If you're in business, would you have David at yahoo.com, yahoomail.com? Of course you wouldn't. It would be David.
How did you know my mail?
Video.
That is my email address.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's move on here. You know, what you guys do at Easy Web Video, you do it brilliantly well. And anyone that's serious about hosting their videos, and especially like the suite of tools that you have there. My all-time favorite has always been the hover feature, that I can shoot a video. I can upload that video to Easy Web Video seamlessly. It's there. And I can pull any link, any website URL that I want, and then my video appears over top of that. My gosh, man, from a credibility aspect, to garner authority and social proof from somebody else's website, to have mine float over top of that to me, that's a magic trick that nobody has pulled back the curtain to reveal the secret of. But you guys, that's what you do brilliant. What you're up all the time. It's a safe place. And if you're in business, frankly, if you're in business, you need to, what you guys charge is basically free anyway. You'd be a fool not to use the service. I can't say it any more blatant than that.
Listen, I'm not going to interrupt you, Michael, especially when you're talking like that. Um, I look at it the same way. I mean, obviously we want to take our video seriously, and using video is so important. But it's also important on how you're going to use it and where you're going to use it. So that makes sense as well. So just in terms of just for yourself, I mean, do you only use, when you're doing video, do you only use it for your business, or do you use it in your personal life as well, video?
So I do. So that's a really good question, because what I do, I'm not let me go back. I'm not in the day-to-day of selling real estate anymore. I'm more of a coach and a trainer, and I teach realtors how to do video. And so for me, when I'm producing my content, it's going to be tips on getting better at video, or I take them vicariously through Michael's life. So I may be in Costa Rica, I'm ziplining, and I'll take my phone and I'm going to do a video of me ziplining or scuba diving, because I want people to experience me, who I am. And then this is a choice you have to make. How far do you want to let people into your life? And what I've discovered, a big epiphany for me happened about 7 years ago. I was speaking in Michigan for the Michigan Association of Realtors. And my wife and I went down a few days early, and we went down to, I can't remember the name of the beach. Anyway, it was like in October. So we thought, it'd be really nice. It's the end of tourist season. We'll go for a nice long walk, whatever. So we're at this beach, and in the morning we stop at the little coffee shop and we're having breakfast. And there's nobody there, just us. And there's another couple at the other end of the restaurant. And I see the woman, she's pulling on her husband's sleeve.
Oh, that's funny.
And then she's pointing at us.
You're like a royal, Michael. You just
I don't know yet. Well, I'm already in Canada. It's not like the royals that are coming here. But anyways, so she's pointing. And then she gets up and walks over. And she goes, Michael, how nice to see you. I was watching you kayaking the other day. The water looks so cold. Diane, I see you're wearing your hair differently. And I'm thinking, I want to call 911 and report, a stalker. Who is this person? And then here comes the final part of that equation. She goes, I'm so looking forward to you being at our event tomorrow. You're going to be presenting and talking about video. I have been watching your videos now for the past 3 years. So from watching my videos, which are not scripted, which are not perfect, what you see is what you get, she felt, and this is called parasocial behavior, she felt that there's this connection, that I was her friend, and she could just casually come up and say hello, and we engaged in a conversation. That's the power of video. And that's what people need to be doing.
I mean, definitely, if my business could be bolstered by doing what I love, which is, what you're saying is kayaking, ziplining, skiing, or whatever it is, and then filming yourself on that, and then utilizing that in order to create a personal relationship with people that you don't even know, okay? And then you became a celebrity to them, where they're coming up to you. I mean, I don't even know how we even have so much time to talk. They're probably knocking on your door right now.
Yeah, well, I've got the dogs there, so they're keeping everybody back.
All right, that's good. That's good. All right, listen, Michael, it's really been a lot of very interesting insight on how you utilize video in your business, and kind of encouraging us and whoever's watching to do that for themselves. If it's in the real estate industry, I know that they can get a lot of information from you, and I'm going to ask you in a second to just provide us with that information. But if it's any industry, I mean, there's a lot to be learned from everybody using the video. So why don't you tell us where people can find you? We'll put the information down below in the notes for the show as well. But why don't you tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, or go to your website, or however.
Sure. To find out more about what we do with our email platform, that would be quickpagere.com. quickpagere.com. If they want to reach out to me, they can send me an email, michael@quickpagere.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm not really I'm technically on Twitter. I'm technically on Instagram. Do I use
I
those
won't
things?
tell if you're using an alias on Twitter like some of the big shots out there.
No.
I won't tell anybody.
This is what you see, David. I'm out there. Like, if warts and all, that's what they're going to get. And before I sign off, I just got to say, one more time, I got to plug Easy Web Video. I'm going to say what you guys are doing is criminal. Frankly, I think it's criminal, and here's why.
Don't get me in trouble now, Michael.
If I look at some of your competition, which they really aren't, but I don't want to name names, but one starts with a W. They're charging $120 a month to host videos. $120 a
I'm
month.
falling off my chair just even listening to this.
And you know who I'm talking. I'm not going to say the name. They'll find it when they search themselves. $120 a month to host your videos and to get really pretty analytics. Okay, how nice. Beautiful colors. I don't care about the pretty analytics. Give me the basic analytics. You guys are charging, I think it's still $29 a month? I think that's criminal. In terms of the feature set that you offer, unlimited hosting, you've got I don't know if you still have the app, but what you're doing from desktop to cloud to compress it. You guys are always on. I don't think you've ever been down. Your support is awesome. That's what I'm saying. At $29 a month, I think it's criminal that you're depriving your family of more money.
You're
David,
not going to believe this,
that's what I think it is.
We're actually at 19 now, 19.99. So, I mean, there is tremendous value at this point. There's no question about it. Listen, I appreciate the plug. Tell me something. Going back to just one last thing that I just wanted to double check on, because you had mentioned it earlier on in our conversation, talking about going around with your cell phone and not leaving the house. Have you ever, Michael Krisa, left your house or wherever it is that you were without your cell phone? When was the last time that happened?
David, I've actually left the house without my pants on, believe it or not. So outside our windows, we've got...
I hope not in the snow, Michael.
Oh, yes. We've got I've got bird feeders out there because I love watching the birds come out, and we get harassed by raccoons. So one late evening, I'm watching TV. I got my shorts on, the fire's going, and I look out the window, and there's this raccoon shaking on the bird. So I go running outside without thinking, and the door closes behind me. And I'm basically wearing my shorts and a T-shirt. It's snowing nicely. So yeah, it's safe to say I didn't have my cell phone. I didn't have my common sense with me either. So lesson learned, my friend.
Got it. Don't leave home without it. Your pants,
There you
I'm
go.
talking about. All right, Michael, appreciate it. It's good talking with you, and great success for you and your business, and appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, my friend, and continued success with Easy Web Video.